to 3am thoughts and the messy road to motherhood. I'm Anique and this is my story. If you've read, listened to or watched the intro, you'll know this is all about my journey to becoming a mum. Every messy moment of it. It's about inflammatory bowel disease, IBD, fertility struggles, the struggle to make myself heard, bias because I was in my 40s, premature ovarian failure, donor eggs, and so much more. And I'm sharing this in the hope that you'll find comfort in my story. So let's dive in and turn back the clock to January 2017. It was a time that marked a significant turning point in my life. I had just stepped out of a marriage. Don't be confused, it was simultaneously the hardest and best decision of my life. I'd switched to part-time work, leapt into pursuing a master's degree, and immersed myself in the vibrant local theatre scene as a production manager. And amidst all this, I got my very first tattoo, which shocked my dad more than anything else I'd done. I was reliving my 20s and loving every minute of it. I ran full pelt into December 2016, celebrating completing my master's and producing the epic production that was Dick Barton. I brought the new year in with a bang, dressed up as Zsa Zsa Gabor and surrounded by amazing people who I love. My life was buzzing with energy and I was happy. January 2017 delivered two life-changing experiences that would flip my world upside down. The first was meeting Marco, who would become my husband. The second was the beginning of my IBD and fertility journey, which is an emotional roller coaster I'm still processing today, and apparently has a few turns left in it too. It all kicked off with an uh-oh moment in the bathroom. A bit of blood. Nothing major, but with bowel cancer in my family history, I wasn't taking any chances. I called the doctor immediately. This was back when I took doctors at their word. I trusted them completely, assuming they'd read through my medical history before reaching any conclusions. Questioning them never crossed my mind. What I was experiencing, I realize now, was just an irritating pimple compared to what laid ahead. My doctor's referral landed me on a waiting list for a colonoscopy scheduled for July, so I settled in to wait, blissfully unaware of the journey this would set in motion. Back then, discussing bowel issues was absolutely not in my comfort zone, except with my mum, obviously. I mean, talking about poo? I used to giggle at the mere mention of the word as a kid. This was strictly whispered tones and blushing cheeks territory. Now I couldn't give a shit. Thankfully, I wasn't yet dealing with bowel control issues. I hadn't started mentally mapping public toilets or worrying about emergency dashes. The possibility of needing to throw knickers in a bin hadn't even entered my head. No, that particular delight came later. Meanwhile, I just met Marco on a dating app. He broke all my dating app rules, only had one profile photo, was wearing glasses in the photo, and just said hi when he initiated the conversation. I mean, what am I going to do with that? Say something to spark a conversation. I messaged him back anyway and we started chatting. Our first date was at the Black Lion in Brighton. I was out at a social event and decided I wanted to meet him, but when I went to message him, I couldn't, so I had to wait for him to respond to my last message. Luckily, I didn't have to wait long. Later the same night, I listened to him chat enthusiastically about his city, Catania, not Palermo. Mixing them up apparently is like asking a Canadian if they're American. Okay, noted. I didn't want my shiny new boyfriend knowing about my embarrassing bowel drama. He knew I was going to hospital, but got zero details about why. Honestly, I was more worried about accidentally farting in front of him than the actual medical procedure. I mean, growing up, I'd been taught that girls simply don't fart. It's not ladylike. how wrong was I to be concerned about that? Turns out farting makes Marco laugh. He actively encourages it, even tries to help me fart when I need to. Who knew? I mean, farting is healthy. Don't hold it in. Fart loud, fart proud. Through this journey, I've discovered there's a farting sweet spot. Like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Not too little, not too much, but just right. Farting the alphabet in a day, perfectly acceptable. The colonoscopy was exactly as unpleasant as you'd expect. Restrictive diet, foul-tasting drink that sent me running to the bathroom whilst desperately trying not to wake Marco up with my explosive flatulence. Then there's the dignity-crushing backless ground, bearing your ass to a complete stranger whilst wide awake under local anaesthetic. Not fun. But it didn't take too long, and I celebrated afterwards with a well-deserved pint of cider. Contrary to medical advice, I had to wait 8 weeks for my follow-up appointment. And by then, my symptoms had mostly disappeared. The whole experience felt like a distant, uncomfortable memory. The specialist nurse diagnosed me with mild proctitis, handed me a hotline number for future flare-ups, and sent me on my way. No mention of food allergies, no dietitian referrals, no discussion of underlying causes. And I didn't have the experience to ask any of these questions. ChatGPT wasn't around then. I was just grateful it was over. I thought that this was the end of the chapter. How wrong was I? A year later, it would kick me in the ass again, harder and with friends. Meanwhile, Marco had dropped a bombshell that scared the crap out of me. He wanted kids. More about those in the next episode. Thanks for sticking